Hi, everyone. We are back here with our weather team here, Joe Veras, David Walter, Joey Stevens. We're going to talk about the hurricane season. And guys, last season was a record-breaking season. We got into the Greek alphabet last year, and lucky enough, we didn't have many direct strikes in the Caribbean. That, of course, was the good news. Year before was devastating, but it seems like these storms are getting bigger and stronger. And David, I'll go to you first. Why do you think, or why are these hurricanes enormous this time of the year now?
I think it's because the climate is warming so much. You look at the last 5 years, they've been top warm years for the entire globe. I mean, historically speaking, I think the top 10 warmest years have fallen within the last 20 years or so. So obviously the very warm air is translating down to the water, and you need that very warm water. Obviously other elements have to come together as well, but that is the fuel for the fire. And what else is happening is that this warmer air is able to strengthen these large ridges of high pressure, and high pressure can actually block some of these systems. So what happens is, as a tropical system is trying to move, if it's nudging into an area of high pressure, it can't go anywhere because these systems don't want to go to high pressure. They want to go to lower pressure. So that will slow them down and cause them to kind of meander, kind of like what Dorian did in 2019. We also have had a La Nina or even a neutral season over the last couple of years, and those are more conducive for hurricane formation because with a La Nina, you tend to get more wind shear, and that prevents formation.
And that brings me to Joe Veras. When we have these strong storms, we're going to get storm surge. And that is really what most people, or all people, should be very, very concerned about.
That's right. That's one of the main threats with hurricanes. You can always hide from the wind, but they say run from the water. And when you have these large hurricanes just meandering along the coastline, you get the counterclockwise circulation, and those winds just push that wall of water up towards the coastline, and that water has simply no place to go but farther inland. And it's just basically a wall of water, in some instances as much as 15 feet above normal. And on top of that storm surge, you have the normal tide. So you have battering waves on top of the storm surge, and it just compromises the infrastructure. Immense amount of erosion occurs, washes away bridges and roadways, and drives the salt water far inland. And that could have big impacts on the ecosystem as well.
Yeah, and you talk about the growing, the growing of food and the species that move, and there's a lot of after effects after a hurricane leaves. And Joey Stevens, you've been to many places after a hurricane or a tropical storm, and it's usually very devastating if you're there. Tell us how important is the information that we present on One Caribbean Television to those folks?
I kind of sum it up in 3 different words. It's life and death situation. And that's really what it is. When you think about these islands, relatively small in size, and a lot of them are relatively flat. There aren't a whole lot of hills and mountains, but there really is no place to go. I mean, we don't in the Caribbean have basements and shelters we can go hide in. Everything is pretty much above ground. And that's why OCTV is so very, very important, because we are there from the very beginning of tracking these storms to tell the folks where it is, where it's going, and to try to get them to shelter as quickly as we can.